Back when Bush was the main character and computers still weren't advanced enough to load a 240p video clip without sacrificing a newborn, you'd slip on your Vans, skateboard down to Best Buy, Suncoast, FYE, or your local adult video store and spend a month's worth of lunch money to invest in the latest high-quality import from the distant land of Japan.
This ain't no Mickey Mouse. This ain't no Looney Tune. This is anime.
Berserk, yo, Berserk. Guts, Griffith. Not no kiddie shit anime, mature. It's mature people. Only mature people watch Berserk. Berserk is fucking epic.
Anime DVDs were a core foundation of the massive boom in popularity the medium received in the West 20 years ago. If you had Pakistani tier internet or were too sleepy to sit through Adult Swim, your only option to feel superior to your scrub-ass friends that only watched inferior Western animation was to spend $50 to own 1/3 of a show that aired in 1995. You felt like the hippest, coolest motherfucker on the block. Didn't even matter if you didn't actually own a DVD player to play the DVDs. PS2s were too expensive, and although the DVD format is vastly less prevalent than it once was, the market for physical anime continues to thrive to this very day through overpriced Blu-rays distributed by the same one or two companies. In the old days, the spirit of capitalism was in full effect, with companies like ADV, Genion, and Nozomi Entertainment all pushing their printers to the limit to produce the highest quality box sets you could buy. But that era came to a close a long time ago, and in the years since, I've made it a side hobby of mine to collect these archaic pieces of cardboard and their contents whenever an affordable one shows up on eBay or other sites peddling nerdy goods. Do I ever actually watch these DVDs? Yeah, occasionally, if I want to relive a part of my childhood by staring at 480 resolutions on a 1080 screen. But for the most part, it's mainly a small-time archival project fueled by my love for that awkward era where anime was transitioning from a passionate expression of traditionally animated wonder to a mass-produced, oversaturated digital nightmare. It was the peak of humanity itself, man. We are never gonna hit that point again.
This also has a slip cover. This is what's underneath.
Now, I need to address the obvious query. Why bother collecting physical anime? You can download literally any show or movie ever put on a screen, and if you're clinically brain dead, you can just stream them from one of 300 Chinese websites. Why are we still spending so much precious currency on obsolete garbage? Well, I broke it down to 2 reasons. One is simply because of collector's autism, which is a condition I've been suffering from since my days as a little boy collecting dozens of dusty, unread Goosebumps books. And the second reason is something I call the Doomsday Entertainment Singularity. In the scenario where some astrological occurrence like a solar flare or some shit wipes out the internet forever, I have to ask myself, what shows and movies am I gonna want more than anything to own for entertainment and preservation purposes? Well, of course I'd want to own all my favorites, and maybe the legacy titles everyone worships, which are what make up the majority of the little collection I've amassed over time. Now, if I'm mainly sticking to buying my favorites in order to avoid going broke, why did I spend the equivalent of a brand new video game on fucking Popotan?
That's why I asked!
There's an excellent quote from the co-founder of Right Stuff, Sean Kleckner, where he points out how die-hard anime fans treat home video products as a collectible instead of a consumable. No matter how much hard drive space is available for downloading shows, file sizes don't look cool on a shelf. That is the reason this shit was and still is so expensive. Because there's a demand from a niche but dedicated audience. And where there's a demand, there's an easy excuse to charge the price of a kidney transplant for the people willing to pay for it. These localization teams and distributors weren't stupid. They know their customers are more rabid than meth addicts. They'll pay for anything if it's got anime bitches on it and gives them something to show off in shelf threads.
I feel pretty stupid right now that I spent $200 on this box set, but fuck it.
Is this a duplicitous practice? Maybe. However, that doesn't mean the product itself can't be something to admire.
Besides, don't you like the convenience of grabbing a DVD off the shelf? When are you ever going to want to cover them up in boxes? Box sets are bullshit.
Plenty of people in the past have criticized box sets because of how pointlessly annoying it is to unpackage a movie every time you want to watch it. And yeah, I'm guessing the only people who'd strongly object to that belief are collecting autists like myself. But I feel there's an unspoken art to this stuff that goes unappreciated. Case in point, Kamichu. I somehow neglected to mention in my review of the show that Kamichu has one of the most lovingly crafted box sets ever made. You have this nice Shinto shrine-esque outer shell with a wooden texture. Underneath that is the actual box with cute illustrations by character designer Taraku Uwon. And then inside the DVDs you have these tiny booklets containing notes from the show's writer, Hideyuki Kurata. It might seem like overkill, but the fact that so much work went into producing such a high-quality piece of packaging definitely deserves recognition. And it's not like Kamichu was a smash hit of a show. There were probably about 20 people that were actually planning on buying this thing on release, but it still got the golden treatment nonetheless. It just goes to show how much companies like Geneon really cared about providing fans with something actually worth spending good money on. But if you want to talk the peak of anime box sets, few can compare to the consumer's dream that is the Aria collection. Nozomi always went all out with their releases, but Aria takes the cake in terms of presentation. Not only did you get entire DVDs solely for the extras containing interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and documentaries about the director's vacation to Venice, but each set would come with booklets giving character profiles and episode guides that would build upon the world contained within the anime itself. The bonus material actually made the experience of watching the show better, and that's something that you just can't obtain these days. The soul has completely vanished from physical releases. Look at all these Blu-rays. You get a cheap slip-on paper cover and then that's it, that's the whole thing. Was there even any point in printing this shit in the first place? I guess so if I was stupid enough to buy it. I am the problem. I'm just fucking consuming trash. I've ruined everything.
This is Makino. Sorry about that, the DVDs are falling down.
Box sets and DVD releases themselves are a relic of a bygone time. They have no good reason to exist anymore, and they're not exactly profitable, especially for all the companies that went out of business selling them. All they wanted was to make anime a household pastime. You could argue that they succeeded, but somewhere along the way, technology and consumer apathy conspired to make physical ownership a worthless merit. Now it's all a game of buying up pieces of the past to appease our nostalgia, or selling that past to make a quick dime off of idiots with too much money. Eventually, it'll all disintegrate into a mountain of dust, but when it does, will it be of any less intrinsic value than it already was? I don't know. I don't know much of anything after this long tirade. But I do know one thing, and it's that I have a fucking bomb-ass shelf, baby. Go ahead, rate me. I fucking dare you. Look at
that.
This
Got all the
shit.
Family Guy
Priceless,
seasons, all the
I tell
Star
you.
Wars, The Dark
Priceless.
Knight, Tropic
Oh,
Thunder,
God.
all the movies that you wish you had but you
Christ.
don't.